sex is sacred and porn made you forget. It doesn't take looking very far on any of the major pornography sites to understand what the majority of people are consuming in terms of sexual content online. And this can be reflected in our media as well, because it's not just limited to porn. It's the sex that appears in films, it's the sex that appears in anime, which is like, we probably have a video about that in and of itself. It's so pervasive, and I think the more that well, especially these days with how easy it is to access porn sites or just sexual content in general, with the birth of the internet now and how it's developed, how easy it is for having children younger and younger and younger having easy unmoderated access to pornography, and this will be their introduction to sex. I know people who've been watching porn since the ages of like 11, 12, 13. So when you're this young and you're already planting in your head what sex means and what elicits sexual pleasure within you, a child's mind will be programmed to see sex at its baseline as what they see in these videos. Now, even if it was very run-of-the-mill basic sex that these kids were watching, you know, I'm pretty sure that would have negative responses in terms of at least the development of their sexual drive and being able to get off of just like having sex on its own, even regardless of that. In my opinion, sex at its baseline is a fusion of souls. It's the most intimate act you could ever do between yourself and another person. Other people, maybe, if you're into that. It's so raw, it's so intimate, and you make yourself incredibly vulnerable. Especially if you're a woman having penetrative sex with a man, I think. You're inviting this person to literally go inside of you. Oftentimes, it can create life. That's why it's also called procreation, I believe. So, at its core, you have this incredibly vulnerable, intimate thing that is being packaged as this dopamine-frying, abusive, content. It's literally been reduced to content. How long can we get people to be watching this shite for? Like, it's gone to the point where masturbation alone isn't even enough for a lot of people anymore. And on these videos, it's things that are supposed to look like rape. It's cosplaying as child sexual abuse. Incestuous? That's very common. If you look at the titles of these videos, they love to make it like cousin, step family. Probably if you go deeper, you can probably just find it saying my sister, my brother, my mother, my father. This is what is being fed to the masses. And children are having access to this, and adults are reinforcing their fucked up wiring by watching this stuff. No judgment. I used to watch porn. No judgment. But it's terrifying how sex is now becoming. Because it doesn't just stop at the porn. It brings itself into the bedroom. If you're a woman, how many times have you been spanked during sex with no conversation beforehand about it? The beginnings of anal without conversation, being called a bitch, being called a whore, being choked, being spat on. How many of you on one night stands with your partners without conversation have you had that happen to you? But the fact that it's made its way into hookup culture is crazy, because there's an assumption then that even without knowing each other, even without being in a committed relationship, that this person's going to be into that. It's become a way for somebody else to exercise dominance over another for sexual gratification at the expense of the person being what's the word? Degraded. It's degrading. Now, of course, there will be plenty of women who enjoy this, and if you are having a consensual, sexual relationship with someone and you're both on the same page of it, who might say you shouldn't? As long as you're both okay in that and you both feel genuinely mentally well for that, all the power to you, that's between you. But let's not pretend this isn't a pervasive issue, because tell me how somebody's supposed to derive satisfaction from abusing or pretending to abuse your loved one. Coming home to your partner and being excited to pretend that you're murdering them or hurting them or attacking them, because that's what's prevalent in porn and that's what you've developed your sexuality around. Extreme acts of sexual violence. I may be bold in saying this, but I theorise that even the women, especially, or AFAB people, the reason that they even think they're into this stuff is because there's now an expectation that they should be. You want to impress your partner, you want to arouse your partner, so you play along with it. But it might not even be deeply what you want. It might just be an expectation which has existed since the beginning of time, where women have done things that they didn't want. They felt like they were obligated to give their man what they wanted. Collectively, I think we need to take a step back and reevaluate, first and foremost, our own relationships with sex and what we really want and why we want it. I thought that I was into more kinky sex, but what I didn't realise was that I was often using substances to cope. In my view, sex is supposed to happen between people who love each other and who want to share each other with each other, arouse one another, please one another, make the person feel seen and loved, and also just have a great fucking time. Let's not forget, it's supposed to be fun. I think sex is supposed to be spiritual. First and foremost, we need to start looking at ourselves and our relationship with sex and be actually fully discussing this with our partners before sex happens. I don't think there's enough discussion between partners about sex in and of itself. And especially in terms of with younger adults and teenagers, where it's harder to sort of bring this up and it's hard to even know fully what you want and such. Like, it can be difficult, but that doesn't mean we should shy away from the conversation. And knowing what you want without fully engaging in sex can be difficult as well. And I have full empathy, because that's how I ended up in the situation I was in, where the sex I was having didn't align with what I wanted, but that was because I didn't know what I wanted. What everybody does with their own bodies up to them, and sex might not be sacred for everyone. And yeah, it's a deep issue, and it's not just between partners that it affects, it's even the people making the porn and the porn industry and all this sort of thing. You could just keep going on and on and on about the negative effects of it. That's kind of all I had to say on this topic for now, because I could kind of go on tangents for eternity, so I try and keep it more limited. I hope that this has, awakened something in you at all. I'm not sure. But if not, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. I like to talk about difficult topics that many people don't like to talk about. So if that sounds interesting for you, please leave a like, please have a look and see if the other videos suit you. But regardless of whether you choose to stay or go, I wish you the most blessed day. All the best to you.